Oh my goodness. Against all odds, we have done it. Tori, how are you?
You got to turn your volume up.
Is it good now?
No.
No?
Now you're good.
Really? Okay.
You can go up more.
All right. What about now?
Say something.
How's that?
Say something.
Mic check?
Yeah, you're a little soft, but that's cool.
Okay, that sounded like an insult. All right, here we go. How about that?
You can go up.
Good? Here? I feel like it's not doing anything. How about that?
Just talk louder.
All right, I'm talking my normal. Tori, I am so frustrated with my equipment, with getting. I am so frustrated. I almost should not be talking into a microphone right now. And it's all, I wouldn't say my fault, but just where we are as creators, where it's like, we can do our own show with Michael Dean. Cool. Okay, are there going to be any other professionals? No, it's a 50-year-old comic whose son is at a water park, who can't find his chords. Volume, what the F is that? It's where it normally is, but no, I don't know. I'm falling apart, Tori, with this equipment.
And
So
just so you guys know, he was like, get this equipment, get this. And I'm like, I just came from the Apple store with Michael Dean and I had a full on panic attack and it's so bad. And I went there and I was like, my phone's this and this and this. And then they were just like, calm down. So I'm with you, Al. I don't like the
Tori, look, I am sweating. I went to turn my $1,500 camera on. It won't turn on because although I remembered to charge the last battery, I didn't put a new one in. So there's just no battery. So I grabbed the battery out of the holder and I go to run into this room to record. And as I reach for the handle knocks the battery out of my hand. This is minutes, seconds before the show starts, and it lands in this pile of dark laundry. So I was just on my hands and knees looking for this battery. And I get here. Camera looks great. I'm sweaty as hell. No volume. Let's begin.
Andiamo.
Yes. Tori, what's going on with you? I feel like I've blabbed about nothing but myself.
So just so you guys know, not only was this not great for Al, I got to my apartment this morning and coming back from an errand and there was firemen in my apartment. And you know that's not good. And I was like, hello.
Unless they're strippers. If they're strippers, yeah. We've got a complaint that your apartment is too cold. We're about to heat it up.
So they, Michael Dean, they were cute. He just asked if they were hot. And I was like, what's going on? Was it just a fire? And they were like, nope, you have carbon monoxide leak. And I was like, oh, can I go in and stay here? And they were like, they did a quick search and he goes, you know what? Just leave the door open to your balcony and some windows. You should be fine. And I'm like,
I don't like the word carbon monoxide and should be.
I know.
Fine. Like those words, it's like these are the protocols that we have in place. They're a little over the top, but they're for your protection. That's what I would like to hear.
I know. So I'm in there. I just want to know if I start to be like, you got to tell me, wake up.
All right. Do you know what carbon monoxide does? Like what it does to you?
It makes you fall asleep and it's odorless. I know that they always say it's odorless. You can't taste it, but it will kill you.
Right. Well, it binds your cells where carbon dioxide should bind, and it just slowly suffocates you. That's why you get sleepy. It's almost like you're passing out.
Okay, so let's focus on being awake.
Okay. Yes. So you will be fine, but it's very weird. My girl is dealing with some stuff in the condo right now, and the condo association sent us this thing, and they were just like, we will take care of this. We will not take care of the asbestos. I'm like, you know that there's asbestos here?
What?
Like, you just type that. Is there a red line underneath that word that your Mac was like, yo?
Jeez Louise. Okay, I do want to say thankful. Julia, I think, gave us $19.99. We are so honored. I always do a little shimmy when that happens. So thank you, Julia. have a super chat. That is so kind of you. And Just Me said, heads up, Al, retrograde Mercury officially starts Friday, but it starts to impact people a few days before. And it definitely impacts technology and electronics. So maybe we're caught in like a retrograde situation.
Maybe. But isn't Mercury always in retrograde?
You know what? And so, you know what? I don't
Do you
know.
not want to discuss that?
I don't care. Okay. Let's move on to what we're over.
All right, that's fine with me. Do you know how many days it takes for Mercury to rotate around the sun orbit?
It takes, it's the smallest planet.
Yeah, so it
So it
would
takes the
that's a good
shortest.
you're on the right track.
Okay. So it takes a day.
88 days. But that was
88.
close.
Okay.
Yes. So a year
Around
on
the
Mercury is
sun.
88 days.
88 days. Okay. So I did, yes, Shelly, that's why you couldn't get your eyelashes on. I mean, nothing's working out. I mean,
I don't know
nothing.
what's you guys heard the call before we got on started the show. My son's at a water park and he goes, "They don't have any towels." So now I'm like I'm like, shouldn't that be all you have? What else would you have at a water park? Lawn chairs and towels? So yeah, so Tori, let's get into it right now. Tell me, what are you so over, girl?
I am over water dripping down my hands when I wash my face.
Hmm. What do you mean dripping down your hands?
The sink that I have is it is not well equipped for hands. Someone didn't think of the hands that would go in. So when I go to do a full-on cleanse because I'm trying to get my face looking better, that's why I'm in the darkness. um, uh, it's dripping. And there is nothing worse than feeling that drip when you're washing dishes and the dirty water comes. That's what I'm over.
I I kind of touched on this earlier, but I just I want to say that I'm over my inability to organize.
I
I
know what
feel
you
like
mean.
I kind of am, but I feel like some people just naturally are. And I spend a lot of time like, here's where I'm going to put my USB chargers. Here's where the sunglasses are going to be. And I really almost weirdly maniacally fight to do that on an hour to hour basis. And it's very difficult. And it seems like it comes very naturally to people.
I could not agree with you more, Al. I feel very helpless. I feel like I work 10 times harder than people that it comes so easily to, and I'm not as good. And then also people who have an eye for decorating, where what how where I
Well, I mean, but you kind of had that a little bit because you used to work in bridal, right?
no, I don't have it out. I could see what would fit someone, but I'm so frustrated in not being able to like see. I can't see what would look good where, and I don't have the inspiration. Michael Dean says that's why you have gay friends. That's a great point. I have nothing to say. That's a great point.
Yeah, maybe that's just like there's a part of you that knows that you're lacking something and you have an instinct. You're like, where are the gay men to help me through this?
It is stereotypical. Michael Dean, I do think that's fair, but
Well, what do you think about the idea that stereotypes come from somewhere?
yes, I just have the thing with Jews being stingy. That's like always the thing when people know me as a Jewish person, and I'm like, I don't know. That always bothered me. That always made me uncomfortable. I'm a really generous person.
Right. But I don't know. I just think that there's some I don't know. I think stereotypes do come from somewhere. I think you can take them and make them nefarious, make them to have a commentary about an entire group of people. But to say like if gay neighbors moved on both sides of your house, there's a chance that they will take very good property care of that property and your property value will go up. I think that's a stereotype, but I don't think anybody would argue with me.
Let's ask the
I,
gay Michael Dean. Please let us know if we feel like that is too rude or not. If that's stereotype, I agree with Al. I agree with you. I agree with you.
all right. So let's just keep that with that and you just keep agreeing with me and let's go into our main story, girl. All right, Tori, what do you want to kick off with?
Oh, do you not have the list?
My paper is over there on that table, so I
Oh,
have to
okay.
pretend like this is part. I'm
So
like,
Michael
let's
Dean
do it differently this morning. What's the first thing, Michael Dean?
is the first thing the
Oh, the birth control backlash.
yes,
Tori.
yes.
All right,
So
talk to the colleagues.
okay, so social media, the headline here is that social media wants you to stop taking birth control. So if you didn't know, misleading and social media content is going wild, Al, and it's encouraging women to get off birth control. And basically, it's for this whole new idea of being like very natural. I do know the next generation is very in control and thoughtful about their health. They are much more concerned about the longevity and aging. There is a growing backlash against hormonal birth control online, and it's kind of rampant with use a natural method that requires awareness of one's fertility window. So it's going through your cycle instead of the birth control. So you have a daughter coming up of age. What do you feel about this?
Luckily, and this is knock on wood, it will continue, but from what I've observed from the generation of kids that are my kids' age and one generation lower, the kids that are like 11 and 12 now, they don't, they're not as easily influenced by the internet as we are.
True.
One thing that stuck out to me, Tori, when we did that, it was kind of like a series on people that had been scammed on DBL. What stood out to me, obviously, besides the horrifying, sad stories, was that they were all people around our age.
Mm-hmm.
Because for better or for worse, we have one foot in the analog age and one foot in the digital age. So we are more likely to, be subject to, being ripped off. My kids look at everything with two dashes of scrutiny. My daughter will be like, "Oh, that's a bot." My son is like, "Man, that guy just called me this. Who cares?" Like they don't respond to the internet like I do. But I do want to say this whole natural movement, it's under the guise of nature and beauty and the way things should be, but they were also a big part of like the anti-vax movement, the yoga, spirituality, don't let anything they were a big, and they really grew in popularity during the pandemic when everybody was online because they were their own community, and they turned into a cult that pushes this natural stuff. But like, I don't know, Tori, what do you think when you hear natural? Because I think somebody's about to try and BS me.
Just so you know, Michael Dean wanted us to know that the natural methods that require awareness of that fertility window is known as one of the least effective ways to prevent pregnancy. Now,
Yeah.
I'm in my
It's like
head
that old joke. What do you call people that use the rhythm method? Parents?
pregnant. What are
Yeah.
they, parents? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my thought, and maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist about this, and I want to know your thought. But so few people in the younger generation are wanting children. There is a shortage of
Mm.
births happening that will affect the labor, literally the labor in this country, because we are having a birth decline because first of all, no one can afford to have children or even get a house or pay off their student loans. So totally understandable. I don't have children, so I understand. But is this the people or government putting out misleading information saying get off your birth control to aid in a birth baby boom?
That's a good conspiracy. And I don't put anything past the government. But, there are countries that have been dealing with this problem for a while. Japan,
Yeah.
Korea. There are
Yeah.
a lot of countries where the rate of people dying is much higher than the number of births. And
Yes.
what those countries do is they incentivize you
Right.
to have children with home buyer programs, student loan payback programs. They try and seed the ground, no pun intended, for people to have a pathway to actually imagine having a
Mhm.
family of three. Go
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm.
We're not too far away, Tori, from back in the day. People had six brothers and sisters, and it was like, yeah, I have a big Irish Catholic family.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but I got seven. Look at the Wayans. How many are there? Like, they all grew up in this country. How'd that happen? Can you imagine having eight kids now?
I know. Right, that's, like,
It,
unheard of, and I didn't I know it's coming from online and it's not the government, but are people putting influencers and bots in place to make this misinformation go viral? I'm just wondering, and if you could put in the quote in your chat, the worst method you've heard of having birth control. Julia says, back in the day, you were taught the best con for self is to hold an aspirin between your knees.
Oh, wow. That was pre-WebMD. Now, I will say this because there is, I think our natural default is the government is trying to do something to us. I think a more likely scenario is that there are groups that are anti-abortion, anti just everything women's choice, like
Yeah.
just to so they're more like the trad wife. They want women to not have as many chances to go to college, not have as many chances to work, because guess what, Tori? If I knock you up and you don't have a degree and you don't have the financial means to go anywhere, guess what I get to do now? I get to abuse you on all levels. And where are you going to go? There's a reason that a lot of these religious places don't let women become educated past
Hmm.
the 8th grade. There's a number of things where they're just like, what do you need to know about quantum physics for? You're going to be in this kitchen, Bo. And so there's a reason they're not allowed to watch TV. You don't need to
Hmm.
see Tory Shulman doing her thing. Educated woman, went to college. But turn that off. Listen to this music, and then it's almost lunchtime. A lot of these anti-birth control things are funded by very pro-religious
Right, right. That's what I was
organizations that
thinking.
want women to do less talky and more cookie cleany.
I agree. Okay, the next one is um the monk lady.
I was about to say I kind of wanted to get to the monk story. I think that one might even need another because this is kind of interesting.
Okay, are
Tori,
you okay? You ready for this?
am I ready for the best headline we've ever had on this show? Yeah, I am.
Here, let me read it. Woman arrested for allegedly enticing Thai Buddhist monks into sex, then blackmailing them. So, just so you know, a woman named Willawan Emaswat in her mid 30s was arrested in Bangkok on charges of extortion, money laundering, and receiving stolen goods. So, I think I made it clear she seduced the monks, um,
Did they say
and
how?
with her prowess. Um, and she's received, do you want to guess how much around in 3 years, how much money she has received?
50,000, 150,000. Do monks have dough? A
I
million?
don't know. She received, y'all, $11.9 million in the past 3 years. They were spent on online gambling websites. She is dangerous and we needed to arrest her as soon as possible. There was chat logs. Yeah, it's Gigi says, ironically, it was in Bangkok.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, no, that can't be real. But yet, look,
Oh, God.
here's what I've always said about people that take vows of chastity, make a promise to God, make a promise to yourself. Cool. I'm a biologist. Your body is still wanting you. It's still producing whatever hormones, whatever internal situations that will allow you to have a kid. And it's giving you those thoughts. So you can be as quiet as you want in the nicest temple that you want. 36, 24, 36 comes walking in there. And 10,000 years but what do you think? Just because you're quiet, you're not one of us, bruh? Come on, Doug. And apparently it was a bunch of them. They're all backed up. And she went in there and she was like, what's up? And maybe this will open up the conversation once they're allowed to speak. No shade.
Oh my
But
God.
clearly there's an issue.
Oh God. So apparently, um, yes, in 2022, I also want to say this, in central Thailand, every single monk, every single one at a certain Buddhist temple tested positive for methamphetamine.
Really? Did they have an explanation? They'd be like, our PR guy's right here, but he's taking a vow of silence, so we can't answer any questions.
So
You
just so you
look,
know, the Buddhist monks in Thailand specifically have been embroiled in several scandals recently. Um, there's going to be some issues here. So Julia says she must have had some very strong pheromones.
well, also they probably haven't seen a woman in 39 weeks. I mean, it's a lot of steps leading up to the top of that temple, and I think Willow Wong was just like, it's worth it. It's a bunch of thirsty dudes up there. It's a lot of Gatorade up here. Look, Tori, it's something that I've told my kids because they're about to enter that decade of their life. There's 2 decades where I feel like people are most vulnerable. I feel like a lot of ourselves and colleagues, we know ourselves. And so it's a lot harder for us. But I think with any kind of cult, I'm not saying monks are cults, but there
They're
are
not.
some,
They're not.
there are some, there's some Venn diagram crossover there. The first thing they want you to do, whether it was Nexium or whether it's white nationalists, the first thing they do is they try and shame you with sex. So it's like no masturbation, no sex outside of marriage, no sexual thoughts. You can't do any of those. So immediately, once you've broken one of those, which you inevitably will, now you are beholden to them. That's how they pull you in. With young men, they're like no masturbation, and the kid's like 17. Well, good luck with that. So, there's a lot of issues um, that I see that they kind of recur and they look different with different organizations. But I think this is like par for the course. And you make yourself vulnerable to Willow Wongs coming in there in their sundress, looking good, smelling good, whispering in your ear, like, I don't know. I don't know how to pray right. Can you teach me? Do you know what that does to a monk? And then he gets a gust of wind, and then it's like, oh, there's
A
nothing under there.
gust of wind.
Yeah, it's like he's feeling like, he's a person, Tori.
Okay,
He's not
and
trying to
as
make money.
okay, Shelley says a monk is a human being, and we all agree. Now, I study with
Yeah.
Pema Chodron and all of that. She's a wonderful monk, and I really believe in her as a Tibetan Buddhist nun. But Just Me says, I'd love to get more details about how that went down. Did the monks find her on Lhasa fans? Oh,
I
Just Me,
mean
you kill me. You kill me. Okay.
like, what are your thoughts, Tori? Because
Uh,
I just thought this was really interesting.
I think something's going on in Thailand. So I think it's specific. Obviously, Buddhists seemingly are in some kind of issue. There was 41 bodies found at a temple in the Buddhist temple in Thailand. Look, something's going on like mafioso wise in terms of the Buddhist community in Thailand. So I think we need a closer look
Are you
at
saying that there's a Buddhist Tony Soprano that we
I
need to
think
look for?
so. And I think there's a sex ring and I think I mean there was
Yeah,
people $9 million was embezzled, there's bodies found. So something's happening in Thailand and maybe, the Dalai Lama is going to have to figure it out. I just did that in Thunderstruck. So
really. Well,
maybe
let
I
me check
should.
my phone. My son's at a water park. He might need a ride. Hold on.
Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think he's okay. You know
Okay.
what's interesting is my son said to me yesterday, he just goes, I want to go to the water park. I feel like socializing tomorrow. I was like, all right.
What a
It was
great
like such a
kid.
clinical. I was like, are there going to be somebody in a lab coat following you around noting you're socializing? But I thought that was really cool. He's
That's
just like,
really neat.
he's
He
got so
like
much personality.
that's also is that he can sense his own social battery. That's really, really
Yes.
great. Former Buddhist monk Jay Shetty. He's great. I love him too. All right, we're moving on to a next story, and it has to do with the word evil. Put it up a
All
stinger.
right. Let's do this. Tori, I don't know if I have a stinger, but we're going to talk about the government right now.
Okay. Do we have a stinger or no?
Well, let's just do this one. I love it. Coming
Oh,
up, the government.
that was really good. Shout out to the government. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you that for Trump, specifically this administration, the president's words containing either a political opponent or journalist or people that are just doing their jobs by reacting, dissenting, and asking questions, instead of saying that that's their right to do so, or that's annoying, or these pesky questions, all that, he's now gone to use one word over and over and over again. And now that word is evil. And evil has such a strong connotation for me as a Jewish woman, because so many times evil was used to describe what Hitler did, or said about the Jews. I also think of Bush, second Bush, and the evil the axis of
Access of evil, yes.
right. So that those were saved for terrorists and people that do horrendous things to our country. So to now use it on the domestic side, I wanted to know what you thought. And Julia saying, I guess he moved on from stupid. It is an escalation. And is he saying evil and now there's no, like, evil means nothing? You know, when you say a word over and over again, it's like that looks
Right.
weird. So tell me what you think about the word evil and what it does as it trickles into people's mind that, oh, this journalist is evil, not just frustrating or
Right.
annoying.
Well, Tori, of course, the reason that we're friends is like, I'm not joking when I say this. I spent an inordinate amount of time thinking about the word evil and when we hear it and who says it. And I feel like there's two different uses for it. The one use is usually used by regular folks like us. Well, they'll be like, Ted Bundy was evil.
Right,
And I think that's a misnomer when we say that, because we don't it's a blanket statement that doesn't mean anything.
right.
I think as a society we could educate ourselves if we go, Ted Bundy was probably a sociopath, schizophrenic. There's certain people that are bipolar, with bouts of mania. These kinds of definitions are a lot more technical, but they explain a lot more.
Mm,
Evil just says that, like, the devil jumped in his body and did that. Like, no, he mapped this out. He planned this out. He was able to carry on a full-time job. He had a girlfriend on the side. He had two cars in the garage. He wasn't this wild, crazy guy. So let's figure out what's going on with these people so we can identify it as a culture earlier and maybe be able to identify the warning signs. I just think it's like, if my stove isn't working, is it evil?
right, right,
There's a reason. Let's
right.
pull it out and, like, oh, the cord's not in. Okay. So, like, and then with evil as it pertains to when religious leaders or government leaders use it, I think it's a lot more intentional.
Yes,
Evil is something that needs to be extinguished. It needs to be vanquished. Vampires are evil. They need to be extinguished. The anything that is not to be reasoned with, not human anymore, can be killed without you feeling bad. Saying you don't like this reporter, saying you think that they're on the take or they're shady or they're not fair, that's fine. When you start calling people evil is when people start showing up at Nancy Pelosi's husband's house, when they show up at these Minnesota lawmakers' house and kill them. These are when you start referring to immigrants as evil. You can walk into a Target in El Paso and shoot them because they're not people anymore. And it's the
correct.
way, it's the language that you use. Oh, this town is overrun by immigrants. What are they? Effing roaches?
Right, right,
You never hear that, even like when it's a bunch of white spring breakers in a small town like Daytona Beach, they'll never say it's overrun. They'll say they took over the town. Those kids were partying too much, but they'll never say it was overrun, because those kinds of words, vermin, overrun, you can kill those things because they're roaches and they're not people. So be very careful when you hear those words, because that's intentional.
I think that what you said is perfect and so smart. I also think as Jews, evil was used because it gave us, excuse me, we were known as a sub race, like below human. And so you're absolutely right. It takes the human aspect out of it. If you guys have ever watched Parasite, Parasite is his take on how people feel subhuman. And he literally, most shots are underneath, crawling, and it's supposed to make you feel like you have to live in that kind of subhuman world. And I
Yeah.
think I think Trump is just sick of stupid and moved on. I don't think he's very intentional with his vocabulary. This one just like stuck, but it trickles into the way we see, just like you said, they're no longer human, therefore I'm better than. It's like a hierarchy, right? Evil's the lowest of
Right.
the low. Um in Yeah, it is straight out of H's book, says Tron.
Yeah.
And Michael Dean says you're doing God's work when you root out evil. Like it's almost like a
Yes.
manifest.
When you blow up an abortion clinic, you kill an
Yes,
abortion
that's
doctor.
right. Right,
You
exactly.
kill civil rights activists. they're trying to what they're doing is evil and it's going against God. Not
Totally
that
agree.
they believe that we're all equal. You never hear that. That's why you always hear the words evil. Even when it's going back to Bush, when he talked about the terrorists are evil, he never said like, hey, the United States has been in bed with these guys off and on for the last 30 years, that we've sold them all those Stinger missiles they have. Where do you think all those Toyota trucks that have tour guns attached to them, where do you think they got those from? Who got those for them? Like, there
Yeah.
is a relationship here that they will not discuss with the public. So guess what, Tori? They're evil.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are other words to describe them, but let's use the right word and not just use a blanket term because it ends up being nothing.
I agree, especially with political violence happening, just like you said, and that's for all journalists everywhere, and for political Congress people, just like you said. You're absolutely right. Okay,
Uh,
we're moving on to something. I know you like to make Whoopi, but let's talk about Whoopi Goldberg. Stinger.
All right. If anybody ever called it making whoopee, I'd be like, and that's the last time we're ever going to do that. So,
There's this
yeah.
line in Friends where she's like, it was old friends and they're young, Monica and Rachel, and she goes, "I hope someone takes my flower tonight." And she goes, "Every time you say your flower, you're less likely to get it taken," or something. Anywho, um,
Yes.
Whoopi Goldberg shared some of the remarks from
Yeah. She was
President
clapping back at Obama.
at Obama. And Obama reportedly made a recent public appearance where he said, quote, "Democrats need to speak out more forcefully against Trump, and they should stop looking for a messiah. It's going to require less navel grazing and a little less whining." Whoo. So
Yes.
Whoopi,
Navel gazing. You said navel grazing.
yeah, navel gazing, which just means like this.
I knew
You're
it wasn't
looking,
a good thing. Like,
yeah,
your eyes are not
you're
focused on
looking.
the horizon.
I
Tori,
think,
you're our political consult.
yeah,
What do you think about this?
I kind of agree with Whoopi. So Whoopi was like,
Me
"Hey,
too.
Obama, a lot of people have been on the front lines fighting this good fight. And what we're looking for is actually some backbone in Congress that has actual actionable things to do." So I think Obama, I don't think it's a good idea to put down your party, especially when they're already down. You sound like you're othering them. People are asking about the navel. So yeah, I just agree with Whoopi that I think a lot of people have been putting a lot of energy into fighting Trump and feeling like they're not getting a lot of respect from the people upstairs that can actually do something. So instead of Obama, maybe he should have said, "Hey, Democrats, let's elect some younger, more enthused, more up to date, current Congress people, and let's get that started," instead of blaming the actual Democrats doing the work.
Yeah, I mean, just dead on. And Whoopi said something that really struck me, and she was like, "Look how many people were out for the No Kings protests."
In
So
every
we know
city,
that
in every
yeah,
city.
every little small cities in blood red districts, people were out. A lot of people. Why don't you find them and connect with them?
Right.
Because the Republicans, no matter how you feel about them, they were like, "Who's our demo?" We got some conspiracy theorists. We've got Christian nationalists. We've got disenfranchised white guys. We have some racists in there. We have a lot of Second Amendment people. We have anti-establishment people. We have I want to know about Epstein people. There's a bunch of people in their coalition, and Trump, QAnon, there are clips of them all like throwing out little side QAnon. Oh, where we won't go one, we go all. That's a QAnon thing, but they say it like in an interview just to give them a little
Mhm.
wink and a nod, like, "Hey, we see you." So where's the Democrats' version of that?
Yeah, instead of sort of blaming. Now, Christina S says this. "I would rather Obama say what he said than have to hear Schumer say he wrote another strongly worded letter." Honey, Christina, from your lips to God's ears, Chuck Schumer, the most ineffective. I mean, could not be less of a scary person or an intimidating or a force
You
right
you
now.
know
I
who Chuck Schumer
completely.
is, Tori? It just hit me.
Who?
Chuck Schumer is uh Joe Pesci's first lawyer in My Cousin Vinny. Remember the first guy because he
You
didn't
mean Ralph
trust.
Macchio's first
Yeah,
guy?
yeah. Oh my. So like the first guy, he
He's
was like,
like,
"I can handle this," and he went up there and that was the best. That is Chuck Schumer.
yeah,
Only it's his movie the whole time. remember when they were about to shut the government down and he was like, "Well, I voted for it because it's a weird time." And I remember AOC's face when she found out about it. It's like you can't believe somebody did something.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
they can't believe like this is my team. Like I
right,
say all the time, say what you want about Republicans, they move as one organism.
right,
If there is a
right.
problem, that problem is taken care of and it is never spoken about
I
again.
know,
When
I
when
know.
Trump said, "Hey, enough of the Epstein talk. Here come all the influencers. Guys, aren't you ready to move on?" His
Totally.
base isn't. We're not
They
getting that story,
follow,
but I'm just they follow
they follow. And I just think
and
I
doesn't work with others.
sorry to interrupt you, but I do think we're sort
No,
of looking, looking for a messiah. And may I add that for a lot of people, Obama was that messiah, and they miss that feeling of safety. And I saw a sign, Al, that just said, "Hey, Obama, can you come home? The babysitter's weird." But I think that we are looking, when we say a messiah, I wouldn't make fun of that. I think a lot of people look up to their politicians to help them move forward in life when their Medicare is being taken away, when their food benefits are being taken away. Like, we're not looking for messiahs, we're looking for politicians to get our back. That's who we're looking
right.
for.
Right, but I
Sorry.
do think that people, when they look for somebody to vote for, they look for somebody that's aspirational.
Yes. Yes, who's
There's a
better than
reason
they
that
are. Yes.
absolutely.
Yes,
And
yes, absolutely.
yeah, it's a thing. I mean, if you look at like on paper, the difference between Trump and Hillary, Trump and Ted Cruz is like a Harvard scholar.
Yeah.
People don't care about that. Trump came in and was like, "I hear you, Doug, and I'm about to go in that building and fight for y'all." And they were like,
Exactly.
"Word."
Even though he's not really going, like, exactly,
Right.
exactly. He doesn't care about
Yeah.
the little people, but he said, "I do, and I have your back, and I'm gonna." You're absolutely right. And someone said Democrats need to man up. I don't know. We might need to woman up. Heyo.
Hey yo, but did you kick your camera?
Sorry.
Did you just kick your
Oh,
camera
I'm
and then
okay.
get on the phone? Are we boring you?
No, I'm
What are
going
you
to the
doing?
next story. I'm going because your piece of paper is too far for you to reach.
I like to yell at you for my mistakes. All right.
All right,
Are we
let's
doing
talk
the
about.
coolest story next?
Okay, so speaking of methamphetamine, there is a new trial going on where we are doing. Oh, let's do this. Let's do a stinger. No?
I don't have one for meth. I don't know. What do you think the best one
You
for
should do
meth would
meth math.
be?
Okay, speaking of meth, would be it. I actually don't know how to take meth.
Yeah, I think
Palate,
you
do a
can do it
palate,
like that.
do a
Yeah, I mean,
palate
you don't have
cleanser.
to panic when you light the lighter.
Okay,
You
you're
can
right.
put it and you can smoke meth like you would crack,
Okay.
or you can snort it, I think.
Okay. Okay. So
I
there's a
think.
new trial that's going on, and it is about, and we want to get your opinions right away. It is for meth users to be incentivized to stay clean. So, yes, people using meth would be paid in order to continue their sobriety. Now, I know there's a lot of apps that pay you to work out. Oh, Emma says you smoke it with one of those circular pipes.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I think that's called an no, that's not an Erlenmeyer flask, but yes, the one that has kind of like the light bulb on the bottom of it. You can inhale the smoke that comes off, or you can snort it like you would a powder. And I think if you're really crazy with it, you can
Like you would a powder.
yeah, like cocaine. But I don't know. I'm trying to think about Breaking Bad. Like, how do people take it? Then they snorted it, right? Or they smoked
I'm
it.
I think you can inject it as well. So I think there's multiple uses for
What
meth.
a bunch of squares we sound like as people that don't do meth. It's
But
and you know, I will say this,
what do you think?
because I think this is a really interesting story. What has really shocked me, Tori, as I've gone through this life of mine, is not only how many people that I know that are very normal, regular adults tried meth once or twice in their 20s, and also in places that are economically depressed. Tori, I'll go like when I'm on the road, boo boo. I'll stop at a gas station at like 3 o'clock in the morning, some exit, and multiple times the person working there jaw going crazy. I mean, open meth is just, I mean, like really openly on the drug currently, and it
Yeah.
happens so much. It's like I never even think to tell a friend, like, "Wow, this guy was on drug." I filmed. I'm not going to say the name of the place, but I was at a place here in Denver with my kids 2 summers ago, and I was in the cafeteria or what food court, and the woman that was ringing people up was on one, like currently in real time on meth, or yes, and it was just like no one really was really even freaking. It's just like we don't talk about the impact that meth and cocaine in the 80s had on this country.
Mhm.
It hit our country like a wrecking ball,
Mhm.
and it affected Wall Street, sports. Meth in the rural areas has affected half a dozen generations of rural
Yeah.
folks, and we just
Yeah.
make fun of them. Oh, you don't have any teeth. Maybe we could help them. So what do you think? Does this
Look, so
program
if
help?
people are asking, who's doing this? What is it? It's certain clinics and they're trying it out. It's doing really well in certain trials. And I can understand this being somewhat controversial, giving drug addicts money. I mean, I understand that. I also understand, I read a lot about habits and neural synapses because I'm a nerd. And James Clear talks about that money and incentivizing yourself goes a long way with a predictable reward behavior. And I'm not against that if that's saving our community. So if they test negative, just so you guys know, they are immediately handed a small reward, a modest store voucher, a prize, or a debit card cash. The longer they abstain, the greater the rewards. So I'm for it. I think the drugs, the war on drugs, Al, the drugs have won. You know what I mean? We lost.
The
So I think at
drugs,
this point,
yeah,
yeah,
the
at
drugs
this
won a
point,
long time ago.
yeah, I think to help anybody, I'm kind of for it. I'm pretty liberal on this. Shelly says a lot of her family could have used this.
Yes,
So Emma W tried it by accident. She said she tried meth. She thought it was Molly. We've all been there.
yeah,
She said she was up most of the night. Just remember, it made me feel awful, like just a really bad, dirty feeling. Would never do it again. Um, yeah. So I
yeah.
don't know.
It's
Yeah. Again, I'm for it. I think this is a really any way that will incentivize you to use a clean needle or to get off the drugs, I'm for. So I hope that
right.
can help.
I just worry that the more successful this program is and the more people hear about it, they're like, I went to college and I'm out of work. Where's my money? Like people will
Yeah.
start to push back. It's like
Yeah.
almost anything that works, people will push against it or just say, well, it's not everybody. I mean, we need to try and not even win this war, but mitigate the casualties as much as possible.
Yeah.
But it won't really happen until we as human beings stop using the words like the evils of drugs and start understanding that since the beginning of recorded history, when they're like, oh, this explorer was looking to, trade for spices, and were they? People thought the
Yeah.
world was flat and they were still trying to get to the other side of the world because they had opium over there.
Yeah.
Where did we have our big fight? Of all the places in the world, Tori,
The
where did
poppy
we go?
fields of Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. What are the
That's
chances?
what weird.
Who was there right before us? Russia. What are
Russia.
the chances? This little country that's very underdeveloped, all these major countries want to, it's because we don't want to have the discussion that heroin and the people that control the drugs in this world, in the country, in their certain regions, control that part of the world. Colombia in the 80s, it's the only place that people could really get cocaine. And so guess what? We have the city of Miami. How'd that happen? It was a sleepy, Miami was Fort Myers. Sleepy old folks watching the tide come in. Now they have 5 major sports teams, a thriving downtown, millions of people there. They don't make tires. They don't make cars. They don't make missiles. What do they make down in Miami, Tori? Yeah. So it's just like until we have the discussion, we're going to continue to have hopefully baby steps like this program, but it's a much larger, much more sobering discussion than I think people are ready to have, and definitely than we're ready to have. So,
Yeah.
that being said, do we need a palate cleanser, Tori? I
I
think we
think
do.
so.
All right, let's do it. Okay.
Okay, everyone. That was really good. This is very exciting about baseball. I don't know if anyone saw that there was a very big drama because the All-Star game ended with a home run derby and it hasn't been done in 92 years. I don't really understand what that means.
Clearly, you read those words like you were reading an eye chart at the doc, the down, ETPS V5.
Oh, yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
really cool. There was a tie at the end of the game,
thank
and
you.
a lot of times with All-Star games, uh, for all our colleagues that don't watch a ton of sports, with the All-Star games, it's obviously the best player on all the teams come to play, but those teams are very wary because they don't want their star player to get hurt in a game that doesn't matter. So they had to figure out a way to kind of end the game, but you can't end in a tie. Like people just those tickets are expensive. You can't be like, well, it was 6-6. Good night. Like you gotta like have something. And so baseball, who has been super creative
Yeah.
over the last 3 or 4 years, baseball brought the pitch clock in. So the pitcher has to throw a pitch every 20 seconds, which speeds the game up. I don't know. There's some colleagues that are my age. Back in the day, like baseball, he would throw the pitcher
Oh my
would get the ball back. He'd take his hat off, put it under his arm, throw the ball in there. Sometimes the catcher would walk. I'm like, yo, this is 10 minutes. So they speeded the game up. And now with this All-Star game, they were like, instead of having another inning in which nobody might score, let's have a home run derby. And
that's
it was fun. It's
awesome.
never happened before. So they were just like, who can hit that's what people are showing up to see. Who can hit the ball out of the park? And
That's
base yeah,
awesome.
isn't that cool? Baseball
Yes.
is like, and there's a line in that movie Mo Better Blues with Wesley Snipes and Denzel Washington, and they're obviously jazz musicians, and they're arguing about what they should play. And Denzel wants more classical jazz, and Wesley Snipes is like, "Yo, we gotta jazz, we want this to be a hot happening place," and because the attendance is dropping off. And Wesley Snipes is something I'll never forget. He said, "If you play what the people like, the people will come."
Oh, wow.
And
If you build it,
baseball's
they will
like, what do y'all want to see? Home runs?
come. Mhm.
You don't want
Let's
to see
do
the
it.
pitcher's hat in his under his arm? Gotcha. They listen to what they're telling you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Not only that, I know a lot of people have heard of Savannah Bananas. Am I saying that right? The
Yes.
team that
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
love. Just Me says, "I'm looking forward to watching Banana Ball on the CW network." When they went on tour, this team that does like really funny dances, but they also play baseball. It's a minor league. It's hysterical. They are selling out stadiums.
They
So it's
sold out
almost like,
Rocky Stadium. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. And it's just been really
That's a
funny to watch.
perfect analogy.
Yeah. So I follow them on Instagram, and I love a good baseball game. I think I like the beer and the hot dog. I really love and I you know what I like? Crack. Walking into Camden Yards, I grew up in DC, so that was my team, the Orioles, and coming out into Camden, there's like little arches, and you'd walk out and you'd see the beautiful green of the diamond. I think it's called the diamond.
Yes.
Oh,
Mhm. Kind of. Yeah. Look,
beautiful, just
baseball,
beautiful.
for all of our colleagues, I cannot speak to where you live, but I can't imagine that it's a lot different. There's a lot of baseball games, so they're a lot cheaper. Football, there's only 8 home games a year, you
Oh, I
know?
didn't know that.
So, yeah, so tickets are crazy. Basketball tickets are pretty expensive. Baseball, y'all, get your girls, go out, you could sit there. I
Yeah.
love going to games and just catch up with your homegirl. Hey, how's your husband? I know y'all are having some issues. You could talk, have a beer, games going on, fresh air.
Game crack.
I'm telling you, as a black dude, I was like, I'm not going to no baseball. I sit out there, I'll go by myself.
Yeah.
So I'll just sit there and just like think about like, well, what should we continue to do and what should we change about friends from work? Oh, yo, I wonder if Tori's cool since you just get a chance to think. I
Yeah.
love base and it's affordable. It's like they
Yeah.
don't break you over their knee because you would like a hot dog and a beer.
Yes. Now, what's the someone writing the thing, what's the team that just lowered their meals at the stadium because they're like, "I don't want a family of 4 having to pay $400 for, like, some good food." I think
I
was it Arizona? Someone did that.
it it might be, but I will
I
say
don't know, but I
this.
love that they did that. I love that they did that.
MLB is very for as much as it's like an old sport, maybe our oldest
Yes.
technically,
Yes.
it is it's really gone away from like we're old fashioned. If you don't like it, kick rocks. They're like, yo, what do y'all at Rocky Stadium here? There's a place in the stadium called the Rock Pile where I think it's $10 to get in, and it's like cheap beers and stuff up there, and it's full of 21-year-olds up there
So cool.
flirting and each other. It's like, yeah, the game's going on, but it's like, hey, cute girls and cute guys. They're like, hey, why go to a bar when you can come to our bar? They
Yes.
figured out, let's bring people in here. And so
Yes,
like
I love that.
they've done great. So yeah.
They
All
have
right,
done
let's
great. Okay, what's next? Palette cleanser?
I feel like we should do Clueless. I really want to talk
Okay.
about
Yeah,
that.
I wanna do that too.
Okay.
Okay, guys, Clueless just turned 30.
I
So,
know. I
that makes me
know.
old, but, it is stayed as a classic American cinematic experience. If you didn't know, Clueless was based on the Jane Austen book, Emma, about a
I didn't
matchmaker.
know that.
Yeah, so it's very classically the story's very classic, and then she ends up falling in love with the person, Mr. Knightsmith? Something like that.
No.
Um,
Oh, in the book or
in
the
the book, yeah.
okay.
And then 10 Things I Hate About You is actually based on Taming of the Shrew, so these ones are so great. I'd love you to write in the, comments your favorite line from Clueless. My dad's favorite, he loves Clueless.
Me too. Me too.
It's very well written, is when she is driving and she goes past the stop sign. She goes, "I totally paused." My dad, for some reason, was like,
Yeah, it's
um,
Tori, what's your favorite line?
um, "Oh, I know. You're a virgin who can't drive." And then she goes, "That was way harsh, Ty." That's
That
my
was really
favorite.
good. There's a line that you and I used to say to each other all the time at DBL, like when you were fall or something, and like whoever
Oh,
fell,
yeah.
you just go up to him and be like, "That looked really bad. Are you okay?" When she fell down the
It was
stairs at
so
the
funny.
dance,
Way our show, if
no
you
one
guys don't
saw you.
remember, she falls all the way down the stairs and she's like, "Don't worry, no one saw you." And the guy walks over and goes, "Hey, are you okay? That looked really bad."
Just
Oh god. Oh my god.
I just like that movie. It's weird because Alicia Silverstone is an elitist, but she's likable, and that's what I love about characters like that. It's easy to have like a very full-hearted Christian character where you're like, they would be nice to anybody. That's cool. But to have somebody that's like kind of off-putting and like, I would never go in that store. But
Right.
also, like, you're like, I kind of like she said that. She said that in a funny way. I kind of there's something endearing about her character that makes
Totally.
her relatable. And
Absolutely. And she tried to do makeovers, like, also the merch is out. Do we have pictures of it, Michael Dean? Yes. So I would buy this so quickly. The plaid is very 90s and sort of in, I believe, still. And this is the Clueless, I think, Barbie doll. There's also Cher. That's her name, Cher. That was what she went by.
yes,
But I just thought that it was a really good love story. I thought Brittany Murphy was fantastic in it. May she rest. I've always thought she was a really good actress. And I
right.
just thought it was a really good movie. The costumes are really, really like specific. That yellow plaid. And I did want that thing in her closet where you could make your own wardrobe by like, remember that?
Yes. I
She
was
could
going
like,
to ask you, you kind of answered the question. That's how synced up we are. I was going to
yeah,
ask you a question on the fly. If you could have one piece of merch from this movie, what would it be?
I would want that piece of machinery that does that
Okay,
where you can see your she could see her closet and like see be like and then she's like that one. And I thought by now 30 years later we would have like the technology, but I'm still like, what do I wear?
yeah. It's weird, but people buy weird fans buy weird stuff from the set.
Yeah,
I
I
would
would buy
kind
the
of
skirt. I'd buy the skirt, maybe the skirt. Okay, go ahead.
okay, and have that behind glass, like if it was an outfit Prince wore.
Oh
Like
yeah.
this
Oh
isn't
my god. Oh my god, that
yeah.
would be huge. The skirt would be
That'd be
huge.
cool. That'd be a really
Yeah,
cool thing to have in your house because everybody's like, "Oh, I got a Beatles guitar," and it's like that's dope. But like, if somebody had something that's kind of like modern nostalgic, that'd be
totally.
kind of, yeah. I mean,
That
for
would be
me, this is very random, but I would like to have like in what do you call that? Not cubic zirconium, but what that hard clear plastic? What do you call that?
oh,
You
lucite.
know, lucite. Yeah, I would want the nose guard that the girl that had just had plastic surgery. I would want. There goes your social life.
There's a
I
lot of
can't have
balls
balls
flying around
flying at
my
my
face.
face. It's such a dumb, goofy thing.
a
But I
great
just
line.
really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it's like Mean Girls, and I don't know if you know, but Tina Fey wrote that movie, and it's like such quality writing. So the same thing here with
Wow.
Clueless. I just think it's gonna stick around and forever. Yeah, my plastic surgeon doesn't want me doing any activity where balls fly at my nose. Well, there goes your social life.
I just love that everybody has these lines like inside of them, and it's just like it's good to just get them out
And it was
every
like
once
right
in a while.
before Al, it was right before social media hit. So that you were just what you do with your friends is just repeat funny lines from like Anchorman or like
Yes,
Clueless. Like there wasn't anything else to look at memes. We were just repeating funny lines and scenes.
that
Anyway,
yeah.
but that was great.
All right, now are we short on time? How much time? Okay, we're
Yes.
getting should we just get to do we have a burning question or do you want to go to Tori's facts?
Oh, we can do either. Let's do Tori's facts.
All right, let's do it. Hold on, let me get it. There it is. Wait, that's not it. Where's your freaking facts? I don't think that's it either. I don't know where it is. Hold on, don't move.
Okay.
I'm just gonna okay, let's just do this one here. I think this is very wrong. No, it's wrong too. All right, wait, here it is. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Took a while, but we got it.
We got it. Okay, here we go. Do you know why there's a little pocket in the jeans?
Cocaine at a nightclub? Yes, it is.
No, Levi's were made during 1890s for the cowboys,
Cocaine's been around for a while, Tori.
not for cocaine. So people are saying for the keys. Is it for condoms? Is it for coins? Al said for cocaine. We're all
I
doing
would say
C's right now.
maybe nails.
It's not for nails. The answer is little pocket watch.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Little pocket watch.
Wait, well, what was the click click?
You know how you open it up and there's a locket of your loved one?
Oh yeah, I definitely went through a pocket watch phase. I think I might break them out
Did you
now.
really?
But I don't wear suits, so it'd be weird to just have a pocket watch and like
Oh, yeah.
jeans and a Florida Marlins t-shirt. Like, hey, what's up? Yeah, you would look crazy.
Could we bring back thank guys, a lot of you got it actually. Also fits a Zippo. I do think a lighter was used, but this was specifically for the pocket watch. But would that be could we bring it back? Yeah, by the way,
Absolutely.
here's another fact that Gigi's saying. Um, I'm sorry, Jaggez is saying the lighter Al was invented before the match.
Oh, well, if you think about it, yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, the match is kind of at that point just a novelty.
Right.
That's like for people that like to do it the old school hard way, they're just like, no, I mean, I have a wine opener, but it requires both of us, like people that just like to use the harder old thing. A
Right.
match is kind of nostalgic matchbook at a nightclub in the 70s.
Yeah, but
It's
yes.
it's just class. It's a little bit classier than like striking up. I don't know. I don't know why.
I've always wanted to have one of those like things of oil with like a little top that they have in those 40s movies and they'd click a button to light their cigarette and stuff. Does anyone know what you know what I'm talking about?
Sounds like you're talking about doing meth again. That's exactly how they do it, Tori.
Oh my god. No, but yeah, so lighters were invented long before the match, which I think is
What?
amazing. And incredible. Everyone please remind us of course that Erica's channel accidentally informed is having Charles Oakley's wife on and she is from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So make
ATL.
sure you head over there after we're done. But yeah, isn't that crazy about the lighter in the match?
That's a really good fun fact because that's something that you would have never thought. I thought they like figured out matches in like Deadwood.
Right. No, the lighter with Flint was made earlier.
Wow. I mean,
I know.
that's terrible because yes, it was a huge discovery. And I go, Tori, I just invented this thing I call a match. And she's like, yeah, but I got this. And it's like, yes, the match would go on to have a nice long career, but it's just such a bummer because you're already the lesser technology.
Right. So just Michael Dean, thank you. Johann Wolfgang Doberreiner invented the first lighter, the Doberreiner's lamp in 1823. John Walker invented the first friction match in 1826.
I like those old school 1800s names like John Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you met somebody named that now, you'd be like, "Oh, he's definitely a scam artist. What's your real name? Google,
Yeah,
let's go." Yeah.
like Butch Sherman.
There what would be your 1950s yeah, your late 50s name? I think my name I would want my name to be like Haywood. They were just black men named Haywood. And it was like, "Yeah, what's up?" My name would be Haywood Washington. That is a old school black name. I love old school black names.
I think I would be Darlene Cherry.
Oh, I like that. I could definitely see that because Darlene Cherry is also just like the lifeblood of the office back 40 years before work from home. So Darlene Cherry, she'd know your birthday. And you're
Yeah,
like, Darlene, you never fail. And she knows your wife's birthday. And you're like,
always.
all right. Yeah. Cake on deck in the break room. Yes. Christmas party planned. Holiday party rules already sent out and posted. Yet, yes, Darlene Cherry figures it all out.
Darlene Cherry.
Now,
That's
office was
good.
never the same after she retired.
She makes a killer pie. That's what Michael Dean said.
All right. And with that said, colleagues, it's quitting time. That's our new sign off.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Well, you put
Chink
some
we
enthusiasm behind
You
it.
know what we should do? Have a clock out, a punch out.
I kind of like that. I'm going to make a stinger.
Okay.
All right. I love y'all. I'm stalling because I'm getting the thing. It won't come up. It's coming now. Al's getting it. Oh, no.